Okay, perfect. Hello everybody, Atelihai, Tunngasugit, Tunngasugit. Welcome everyone to Monkey's Virtual Fitness. Today is Friday, so it's leg day. We had some technical difficulty issues with Wednesday's workout, so today we're just going to get into legs and finish off this week. So first thing that we're going to do is we're going to do the figure four leg stretch with some ankle manipulation. So I try to work the ankles in to all these workouts just so that we can really warm up our ankles. So for the figure four, we just want to bring our ankle. So I'm going to be starting with my right leg, my right ankle over my left knee, and then I'm going to be pulling my left knee back and just rocking back with it like so. And so I'm just going to be pulling it in. See from the side, I'm just pulling in from underneath my knee, trying to pull this ankle to my head. If you want to make it a little bit difficult, you can just add some pressure onto the opposite knee. And again, really try to get that stretch in. So we're really trying to stretch out the glutes. So I'm just going to do this 30 seconds each side. Just like so. So I'm going to be switching over. So great thing to do too is I like to keep my my ankle flexed during this workout. So really trying to flex the ankle, bend the toes back towards your knee. And again, same thing, just pulling in 30 seconds each side. So again, thank you everybody for joining me today while we do these stretches. Thank you to Sport Canada and Canadian Heritage for funding this program. And of course to us, the Toronto Inuit Association staff, for getting this going. So just 5 more seconds on the side. Okay, just like so. So again, we just like to keep the toes flexed backwards, keeping the ankles flexed during those. So next up we're going to do is the cross leg gluteal stretch. So I'm going to be sitting straight just like so. My legs are forward, knees together, bringing my right leg, crossing it over, feet planted on the side. Now I'm going to pull that knee in, trying to pull my right knee to my left pec, and I'm going to be just moving my body to the side. So right leg, pelvis turning to the right side. Just try to stretch it again, trying to keep the knee close to our chest. And again, trying to keep our ankles flexed. Again, you can put them down or up or do both. I just like to make sure I'm moving them around just to get us used to the movement. So just going to be doing this 30 seconds each side. And switching over. So again, it's just a crossover like so. Now I'm bringing my left knee to my right chest. And I'm going to be looking left. So just like so. Again, really trying to push the glute out and trying to stretch up that bone. And again, any type of ankle manipulation that you can do is great. You could even pull on the toes or what have you as you're doing these stretches. So you get a few modifiers in there just to shorten the time. And again, the harder you pull in, of course, the more of a stretch if you want to make it more difficult. So just like so. So just hugging the knees, bringing them into the chest. So now we're going to do a wide-legged toe reach. So getting into that sumo squat position, for me, I like to go just a little bit past shoulder width, or the width of my my mat. So I'm going to be reaching down, again, really trying to get my hands between my legs. And so we're really just trying to force this stretch into our legs. If you can touch the floor, again, just trying to pull your body between your legs. It really just emphasizes those muscles. really gets them stretched out. So just like so. Again, 30 seconds. And again, in between, if you would like to pull an ankle on for maybe the last remaining 10 seconds, switching sides. So just like so. Again, you can just keep in between your legs, or of course you can do 10 seconds in between the legs, 10 seconds pulling the right toes up, 10 seconds pulling the left toes up. So now we're going to do some raised knees and some, it's a gluteal stretch. So again, we're going to get back on our backs and we're going to start pulling the knee to our chest, and we're really just going to hold that. So I'm laying down flat, bringing the knee up, and again, real simple, keeping my left leg flat on the floor, toes flexed up towards the ceiling, and just pulling in my right leg, just like so. And again, we're really just trying to stabilize the pelvis, stabilize the other leg, but we're really just trying to pull the knee to our chest. To get a deeper stretch, you could try to keep your heel close to your hamstring, just like so. So now switching sides. Again, just pulling the knee in to the chest, just like so. Again, I'm trying to keep everything flexed, my ankles flexed again. You can bend them this way, just to get an added stretch if you would like, pulling them in this way. It's really about just doing our stretches, but also adding some joint manipulation. So just like so. So now we're going to do some raised knees, but now to the side. So the same variation, except we're going to take our knees up, and we're going to try to pull them down to the side. Again, if you can't get them parallel with the floor, that's okay. But we're really trying to keep that bent leg 90 degrees, parallel with the hip, trying to get it close to the floor. So just like so. And again, 30 seconds each side. While you're doing this, of course, you can move the ankles around, maybe do rotations. That's what I'm doing with this one. Just like so. Now switching sides. So I'm on my left side. Again, keeping it bent parallel with the pelvis or with the hips, and keeping it at 90 degrees while we stretch it over. I'm trying to lay on my back, keeping everything straight, and just pushing down to the side, just like so. Again, feel free to roll the ankles, going counterclockwise and clockwise. Just like so. Again, trying to get it to the floor, but if you can't do it, just focusing on that stretch on the inner thigh. Just like so. So, we've gotten those out of the way now. And okay, so now we're on to some stationary lunges. So this is the last of the warm-up. At this point, we're going to get into the lunge position, and we're going to pull our hind leg back, trying to get heel to bum. So just like so. We're in that stationary lunge position. And now we're just going to pull the hind ankle back while also leaning forward. So feel free to put an arm down, a hand down to stabilize yourself. I like to put my arms on my knee. It just helps. And yeah, it's just a pretty simple stretch. Just really trying to pull out, of course, the quads but we're also stretching the hamstrings and glutes as we lean forward. So the further that you do lean forward, the deeper the stretch will be. And we're just going to do 30 seconds each side. Now in this, I like to lean with my knee going past my toes, just to also get that ankle stretch. And then I'm also pulling on the hind leg, I'm pulling on the toes to flex the other ankle inwards. Switching sides. From the left, again, leaning forward, my knees are past my toes, and we're just trying to bring the heel to bum during the stretch. So hi everybody. So just like so, knees going past the toes. On this foot, I'm curling the toes in, just like so. And again, just 30 seconds each side. Just like so. So now that we've gone through our warm-up, we can get right into our hip flexor. So the first thing that we're going to do is crossover lunges. So what I like to do is I like to just pick a spot on my mat. And again, so I'm going to be bringing my right leg to the left side, and I'm going to do this lunge. So I'm going to do it slowly. Just bringing it over like so, crossing down. And again, it is a very cross-legged lunge. Coming back up into that cross-legged position. Going back, so that's 1. And again, 20 times, so we're going to do it 10 times each side. Now I'm going to take my left side. So it's easier for me if I'm going to go from my left to my right to stand on the left side of my mat. Like so. Like so. And then of course, I'd be coming from my right side, step on my right side of the mat, crossing over, like so, and getting down. I think this is also like a ballet move or something like that. So if you have some type of dance experience, maybe that's something there. I just know it as a crossover lunge. So that's 4 of those. From the side, a little bit weird to do, but just like so. I think it's a curtsy actually. I guess that's technically a curtsy. So we're doing curtsies. That's basically what they are. So again, 10 times each side. So just doing these curtsies. I hope they're called curtsies. If you wanted to make this a little bit more challenging, again, it really is just a big focus on balance. You can, as you're crossing back to do the next step, you could lunge back over and then do a crossover step, right? And lunge back over, etc. So again, whatever feels most comfortable to you during this workout. But just like so. Now I am doing them kind of short. As you can see, this is not a traditional lunge. You can certainly try to go further, but that just might pull some muscles, and it would be very uncomfortable to fall. So just doing this 4 more times. So there we go. So those are the crossover. Any tips for balancing? I like to keep my arms to the side while I'm doing these. But it's also, I think it's also really important that as you're coming down, to really go slow into the movements, because it does force your knees, as you can see, to move outwards. So definitely keeping Arms out helps. If you can grab onto something, but just taking it slow, keeping your feet flat as you can, just like so. I like to imagine that I'm guiding with my hind leg, putting it behind, so more at an angle so that when it does touch, it does give me something to balance on, just like so. But definitely holding on to something will help out with that balance. So now we're going to get into one of my favorites, which is the sumo squat. So for that, we're going to get into that wide leg stance for me. I just like to go on the outside of my mat. So the goal is to keep the front leg straight and something to accommodate the move. No, because as I'm coming down, both are bent as you're coming down. But it is similar to that stationary lunge that your front leg is really doing all the lifting as you get up. But when you alternate sides, of course, switches over. Yeah, so sumo squats. So for me, width of the mat, or maybe like, I couldn't even gauge that, maybe like 4 inches past your shoulder width. But we're all different, so. Anyways, coming down as squats. We're gonna do this 20 times. Coming down with a low squat, coming back up. And now for me, just to get ourselves in the habit of doing them well, you really want to try to get your knees very straight, right over your ankles as you're coming down. And now I'm going to try to do them a little bit slower, just because I really want to correct and have a straight back, as straight as I can. I'm not bending forward to compensate for poor ankles or poor knees. Again, I'm really just trying to force that body down. So it's really important just to keep our knees above our ankles, try not to go past the toes. Another good way to sort of ensure that we're doing this properly is as we're coming back up to really push our hips forward as you would if you were powerlifting. So just like so, coming up, pushing the hips forward. Sorry, I'm just imagining pushing up a barbell, and that's exactly what you do, is you would push your core outwards to really stabilize the additional weight on your back. So just like so. Again, this is coming from a gym experience, which can of course be quite different. But even if you know that, you know, your back isn't too straight, like my back isn't always perfect when I'm squatting, the big focus is really trying to get the knees to come, to lift your booty down, but to stay just above the ankles, if you can. So, just like so. I'm gonna hit these 5 more times. So, just like so. Whew. I certainly feel that in my quads a lot more, just really taking it slow and really trying to focus on doing it properly. So always when we do those things properly, or try to do those properly, and add in those modifiers like keeping your back straight, keeping your knees parallel to your ankles, not only does that keep the form good, it also ensures that we don't damage anything, and it strengthens our joints. So that's why I always really try to keep it in there. So now we're going to do some hind leg glute raises. So just as it sounds, we're just going to be raising our hind leg using our glutes. So getting into the table position, like always. You know, again, we've done those variations before to the side, but for these ones, we're just lifting it back, sort of trying like a I guess like a scorpion. So we're just going to do this 20 times on each side, just like so. Now, if you find that these are too easy, then you are more than welcome to add in some side ones as you're doing these, or whatever variant that you think would be good for this workout. But ideally, just trying to curve the spine a bit, trying to have the glutes come up over our lower back, so coming up above the spine. So for me, I like to do these exercises slightly slower than usual, just as I'm coming to learn that extra hold that you can really feel, especially in the glutes, especially in your butt. You can really feel that hold as you're really tightening that last sort of arching pull. You can really feel your glutes tighten up. So as I'm coming up, I just like to make sure I'm holding and pushing as much as I can in that. So I think I'm going to do this about 4 more times now. So just like so. And you can also keep your legs, your knees together, knees apart. If you have balancing issues, it might be easier to just have your knees be somewhat parallel to your shoulders, and then raise up. Ooh. Okay, so now we are going to do some bridge dips. So this, of course, is going to focus on the glutes. So we're going to get into that gluteal position, but we're really going to try to get as close to the floor as we can without touching, holding, lifting up, and we're going to do that 20 times. So at some point, you may feel tempted to rest your bottom, and if you absolutely have to, do it. But trying to hold off on that, trying to resist that urge, is really where we find that extra workout. So again, knees are just right in between my heels and my glutes, just at an angle like so. Don't know what you would call this type of an angle, but just that sit-up position. And so raising the glutes, keeping the glutes tight, coming close to the floor, as close as you can, but you're not touching it, and lifting back up. If you want to do a little bit of abs in here, you can also do some reach overs to your heel, lift up, reach over, lift up, reach over. But again, just focusing on the glutes for today, just lifting. Our glutes off of the floor, just like so. For me, I like to rest my arms onto my stomach or onto my core, just so I'm ensuring that it's just my glutes that are working. It also adds some weight to your body to get those done. So makes it just a little bit harder, but it really does get the job done. So now we're going to do some side leg raises. So in this position, I'll be doing it standing. We're going to be lifting our legs to the side. Now, if you have issues with extending that full leg, or you're not getting the full gluteal rotation, or like the potential to do that, you can always use a bent leg. So In this position, I like to stand, again, shoulder width apart, just standing straight. Now I'm going to turn my working leg, which is my right leg, to the side like so. Again, you can say it's about heel to heel. And in this position, we're just going to lift it out to the side like so, right? And we're just going to lift like so. So that's one variant. If you find it hard to lift the whole leg up in one movement, or you just have some stretching issues there. Otherwise, we're just going to be lifting that leg out to the side, lifting that leg out to the side, just like so. And again, I like to not let my working leg touch the floor. But again, if balance is an issue, like for me, I can just grab onto this. But again, just really trying to raise the leg out to the side. So we're just going to do this 20 times each side. So just like so. Again, that really opens up the hips as well and gets us that range. So now again to the other side. Again, if you have troubles with the fully extended leg, you can just do this technique here. Just again, creating that L with your feet, bringing it up to the side. And that would be 1, 2, and so you see what I'm saying, 3. So those would be the reps. Otherwise, standing out to the side, bringing the leg up, just like so. Now, of course, if you want to make this harder, you can go a lot slower and really slow it down. Or you can do clock variants. So, of course, you pretend that your leg is the hand, and you would just go up and down like so. Just like so. Yes. Yes, Brian. To answer your question, yes, exactly. Yeah. So we're really focusing on the hips. So when you bring it off to the side, we're really trying to stay completely straight. Now, for me, I'm of course a little off kilter, just because I want to make sure that my leg can swing. Again, just so I'm not resting on it. But ideally, you want to keep everything straight, right out to the side, right back down. And again, if you want to make it harder, you do a little clock variant, maybe, which again just adds little jumping movements, really get control. If either of those are too difficult, which of course the latter will be, then just lifting it out to the side. Again, looking straight, having it, trying to really get that rotation in. Even if that's too hard, of course, you can do some rotations out to the side, just like so. Okay, so the last thing we're on are bear crawls. So I think that they had gotten this name, I guess, from the way that a bear crawls, but also the way that they really use that their hind legs are the source of their power. Of course, when they're running, when they're doing kickoffs, jump offs, you watch any bear running videos, that's what they do kickoffs before they start running. So because of the low room that I have in my apartment as of right now, I'm just going to be going to the end of my mat and coming back, and I'll count that as 2. So for this situation, you want to really try to have bent legs, but you want to push with 1. So my left leg is bent, my right leg is straight completely. Taking the step with my left. Now I'm going to be pushing straight with that one. Coming into this position here and going back, of course, back into this position again. So really, it's just about extending the back leg as we're crawling forward and trying to kick off with it, propel us forward. Just going to change my positioning in the room so I can better explain it. So, pushing off at the back like so, just like so. So it just kind of looks like you're sort of doing little hops with your guiding leg, and you're, of course, my right leg is the pushing leg. So from the side, that would look like bring one leg up. So again, we're in this position here. This is the start. Pushing like so, like so, and again pushing like so. It's a little cramped, so it's a little hard to do, but of course we don't have to move. So just like so. So again, if you don't have a lot of room like me, you can just alternate legs and push with one leg off the floor, alternate legs, push one leg off the floor. So trying to get our pushing legs straight and our body propelled forward. So probably should have went to a park for this. But again, pushing one leg up, back down. And just like so. Whew. Amazing. All right, so I'm going to try to get through this one now. So again, I have one leg bent, pushing that leg straight up, back down, switching sides, straight up. Now ideally, if we had space, we would be actually crawling forward, but as I've come to find out, I don't have space. So again, knee push up, keeping the legs straight, feet flat, back down, a push, feet flat, just like so. Whew. So those are the those are the workouts. Now we're going to get into our cool down. So now we're going to get into some quad stretches. So just a very traditional one, bringing the heel to our bum, stretching out the quad. I'm going to do this the wide leg variant, so I'm just at the width of my mat, not so much in sumo, just right on the width of it. Bring it up, and again, just stretching it out to the side, lifting it like so. Feel free to grab onto something because this is a very difficult way to balance. But just like so, 30 seconds on each side. So if you can imagine, I'm trying to bring my right heel across my glutes while also pushing the pushing the quads backwards like so. So just from the side, you can kind of see what I'm doing, just like this. So switching sides, wide leg variant. And again, just bring it over to the side, trying to keep your pelvis facing forward as best as you can, and then pulling it back, just like so. Again, 30 seconds each side. Just like that. So same thing, but we're just going to throw that variant onto the hamstring stretch. Again, bring it up. And really just trying to pull the knee to your chest. Feel free to grab underneath your foot, either for better leverage or to really stretch out the ankles, whatever works for you. I like to just make sure I'm rolling ankles around pretty much whenever chance I get now. Switching sides. So again, just pulling it, moving the ankles around. Pretty straightforward stuff. Again, you can open it up more to the side. You'd really like to get in that inner thigh or even cross gluteal stretch, just like so. Okay. So I'm going to do a lunge stretch. So just coming down into the lunge, and we're really just going to try to stretch out our hind leg, as well as really feel that pull in the knee. So right now in my hind leg, I'm feeling just a little bit of a tug in that knee. And that's really what I'm trying to find here. Again, just trying to really stabilize and strengthen our knees as we're going through these. So keeping the hind leg straight, I'm just on the balls of my feet, which I hope is the toes, or that little part underneath the toes, just like so. Switching sides. Same thing, hind leg straight, bending down. I like to make sure that my knee is just above my ankle for my front leg, just so I'm making sure I'm really pushing down on that hind leg, really trying to get that knee stretch, just like so. So again, 30 seconds each side. And after this, we'll do some butterflies. So really making sure we're stretching everything out down there. Now for the butterflies, I've really grown accustomed to doing about half and half, sitting down and half on my back. So I'll just do 15 seconds, really fluttering, putting pressure down for a few seconds, and fluttering again. Putting some pressure down. And for the last 5 seconds here, just gonna stretch them out like so, just flutter them. Now we're gonna do the same thing, but on our back for 15 seconds. So now I get on my back, same thing. Now it's an awkward angle, so I won't do it that way. But you know, again, just opening and closing the legs, and then holding them and pulling them in, or pulling them down, sorry, just like so. And then just fluttering them again. And so again, 15 seconds sitting up, 15 seconds sitting down, 5 seconds of fluttering, 5 seconds of holding, and then 5 seconds of fluttering again. It's a good little variant to keep our muscles guessing. Of course, you don't want to get too repetitious with the way that you work out, just because our body does learn. And so the more that we do one exercise or a certain number of sets, a certain amount of weight, even the time of day, your bodies do grow accustomed to that. So we want to keep tricking our body, and always keeping it adaptable to specific environments, for example. Whew. So now we're going to do a cross-legged squat. It says 30 seconds each side, and by it I mean me. That was my fault. I don't think 30 seconds each side is really feasible. So maybe 15 seconds each side, 30 seconds total. Crossing the leg, and again, just squatting down. So this could be a figure 4 squat, or a half squat, or a lose your balance squat. However you want to view this squat. Again, it's difficult. So whatever maniac put 30 seconds each side down. Well, it was a maniac. So through the struggle, we're going to get to 15 seconds here. Oh, almost there, almost there, almost there. Now you could grab onto something if you have sense. I don't have sense. I've got dollars, so I'm not going to do that. Moving on to the other side, flip it over. And again, just like so. Again, in reality, I should be using something to stabilize, but it is important to have balance, good balance. Oh, there you go. Just like so. And again, really trying to squat from the knee. So this does give us really powerful knees, as you can probably tell. Here we go. So about 15 seconds each side. So, oh man, that was kind of brutal. So now we're gonna do our only legs Superman. So a Superman is laying flat on your stomach, lifting up your chest or shoulder blades off the floor. Yeah. Exactly. So yeah, definitely be careful. Definitely hold on to something. Yeah. So now we're going to get into the only leg Superman. So laying flat on our stomach, instead of lifting our chest and shoulder off of the floors, we're just going to be just lifting our hips. Now to make this more difficult, I like to do a sort of scorpion with my Superman legs to really try to get the heels to my bum, which just gives us a really great additional gluteal stretch. So just coming up, and again, really trying to curl in our glutes. So just like so. So feel free to rest your upper body. We're really just trying to lift our lower body off of the floor. Again, for 30 seconds. Whew. Okay, so just like that. And we've done it. So I think that anybody who sat through that whole thing deserves some props, because that was definitely a harder one that we've just gotten through, but really good workout. I'm sweating profusely. So, but yeah, that pretty much does it for the workout. Thank you all for coming. Again, I like to take this time just to meditate while I'm recovering before I get the energy to rearrange my living room. And in this time, I'm just going to stretch out my ankles, curl my toes back and forward, and again, really move everything out. A great way, if you're just sitting in butterfly position, to really stretch out your ankles if you want to do just something additional, is to you know, just because I think this one's just a little bit important, I'll just go ahead and give myself a feet shot. So again, keeping one leg straight, really off to the side. Disregard this leg. You know, it doesn't do anything for us. Not yet. And again, just trying to curl, as you can see, trying to curl the inside of my foot, the sole of my foot, that little curve that we have, trying to get that curve prominent, and we're just trying to bend that around our thumb. Gives us great lateral pull, great lateral flex with our foot. Really try to get those flexors present. And it's a great little massage again, just trying to bend the toes over our thumb. And of course the other variant to then put some pressure on the back of our heel, and we're just trying to pull out this way, like so. And you would do that both sides. So again, thumb here, and we're just trying to pull over that portion of our body. So just like so. All right, and I'm back. No more feet. So the wind chimes. All right. So, anyways, thank you all for joining me. It's been great. Thank you, Sport Canada, Canadian Heritage, for doing all this for us, getting us the cash. Tia, thank you for getting me the job, and thank you for the community for welcoming me in. This was great. I'll see you all on Monday when we do a upper body workout. Take care, everybody.